Hello adventurers, it is I, Soul's Adventure, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today is a Tuesday, and on Tuesdays I like to showcase some of my tabletop RPG adventures. And for today, we are going to be diving into my BORG one-shot adventure. But before we even begin, I do want to say thank you to my Patreon community. It is slowly growing. We have about 50 plus members in the community. So thank you all for the support, and I hope you are enjoying all the content outside of what you see on YouTube and on Instagram. So a lot of folks who are part of the community, they will be given more of the behind the scenes of different things, even like little art projects and such, and just different things that I'm like working on. And I also want to give a big shout out to Dungeoneer Chris John. And then we have 3 adventurers. We have Blair Black, MC, and Versus Me. Thank you all so much for supporting the Patreon community. And if you would like to join, the link will be found in the description below. And it is free to join. You don't have to join the adventure tier or the dungeoneer tier. It's simply like up to you. But those 2 tiers, that's not only just support for like me and my content. You'll get exclusive like perks, and that's also a way for, I guess, me to like fund giveaways in the near future as well. So a portion of whatever I get from like itch.io or from Patreon, that'll go back to you guys through giveaways. So that is it for like shout outs and such. And now we are gonna begin my one-shot adventure. This adventure is called A Sinner's Silver. So if you are not familiar with this adventure, just a little recap. We have Eldara over here. We'll use this mini. She is an occult herb master in the town of Galgenbeck, and she's part of the witches coven over here. But they also get a lot of hate, and there's just like gossip, rumors, superstitions, stereotypes about like witches that the town isn't really fond of. And as Eldara was over here in her room like studying, there was a witch, part of the coven, who received a vision from the 2-headed basilisks asking to retrieve silver from a sinner's grave. But not just any sinner. There is this high priestess of Galgenbeck named Delmyra, and she is someone who was like really powerful. She tapped into like forbidden magic, but she used that against the 2-headed basilisks. And unfortunately, she died trying to tap into the forbidden magic. And so to save the witches' coven, the basilisks are asking for silver from Delmyra's grave, or else the 2-headed basilisks will forever haunt the witches of Galgenbeck. So Eldara wants to save her coven over here, and so she went to town and she's trying to like get some rumors or like gossip about Delmyra's grave, and she's just been having some bad luck. No one has ever successfully located Delmyra's grave, and the graveyard is a very scary and dangerous place. People definitely avoid going into that area. And then she also encountered a witch hunter, and that witch hunter is keeping a close eye on her. And so that's kind of something that Eldara needs to be aware of. So she's kind of being watched too by this witch hunter. Okay, so now we are going into the graveyard. And if you're not familiar with what the graveyard looks like, I do want to use Hellwolf and this art scene over here to kind of highlight what I personally think the graveyard kind of looks like here. So you can see it's very dark and scary. And so we are going to be drawing out the graveyard. So how I'm actually thinking about this is we are going to be using this tool, the sandbox generator, and I actually want to use this type of I guess, system. So here we have, in this particular section of this book, there are different ways for you to create settlements. You have here like hamlets, villages, cities, castles, towers, abbeys, stuff like that. But I think I do want to use a hamlet to kind of get a gauge of what the graveyard looks like. And so we have here is a layout option. So there is a heap, a round, and then a row. And so I kind of want to use this to kind of see how the layout of the graveyard will look like. So obviously it's not a hamlet. We're going to be making a graveyard here. So I think I just want to use that to help kind of craft a visual here. So how I'm picturing this is in the town of Galgenbeck. The graveyard is in town, but I would personally think that this graveyard has been left like abandoned, and there's just like random creatures kind of like lurking, and it's not being taken care of. Like there's no grave keeper or anything because of how dangerous the graveyard has gotten to be over the years. And so I think I would imagine it being at like a very like far like part of the town of Galgenbeck. And so probably in an area that not a lot of people are like hanging around in. So yeah, so we'll see here. So she's making her way to the graveyard. So we're going to use this area to kind of draw out the graveyard here. So it says here that there are 3 possible configurations for the hamlet's buildings. So we can roll a 1d3 here. So let's see. Okay, so we got a 3, so that would be a 2. So this would be a round. Okay, so how I am picturing this is there's going to be, I'm imagining like there's going to be like a trail here, and then in the center it'll kind of go around here. Yeah, so there's going to be something in the middle here, and then kind of branches out. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe the center over here could be some like someone's grave or something. And then I do kind of want to see how these would kind of branch out. And so I'd imagine I'm picturing like 3 different sections here for the graveyard. So it's definitely not going to look pretty because I definitely wasn't planning how I'm going to like draw this out, but we'll work with it. So I'm imagining there's going to be 3 different sections here, or like 3 sets of graves. And so, yeah, so we'll see. So how many would be over here? Okay, so there are going to be two graves here. Okay, actually, let's try to draw it like this, like an actual graveyard here. There we go. And then, okay, 2 more over here. Okay. And the goal is to find Delmyra's grave. So she has no idea what Delmyra's grave looks like. Okay, so there's going to be a total of 6 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then there's going to be 2 graves here. And then how many on this side? 2. Okay. Sweet. Okay. Awesome. And then we can do this with a pen here. we go. And then somewhere here in the middle is going to be something else. So we will see what's over there. I think now, I feel like Eldara is going to have a hard time trying to locate Delmyra's grave here. Delmyra was an abomination according to the two-headed basilisks, and so I feel like her grave is like kind of maybe not like recognizable, or I don't know. They obviously didn't honor her death there. Okay, cool. So we have come up with the Galgenbeck graveyard here. Okay, sweet. Okay, and then there's probably gonna be like patches of like grass, and like we shall see what this will look like here. Okay, so this is the Galgenbeck graveyard over here. Okay, so now we can get started and play. So we are going to use this as well. So the Solitary Depths, it's a very nice solo tool here for MÖRK BORG, and we will use the various tables found in this resource. And now we will see what she encounters here. Okay, so upon going to the graveyard, so we are at the entrance. So just at the entrance, I do want to see if she is being followed by the witch hunter that she came across at the tavern. So we'll use this guy to represent the witch hunter. And I think I do want to use a tension die on this witch hunter, because if he is able to get Eldara, he could get some good money for her head there. So we'll see. So I think I will ask the oracle here how likely. So we'll say, how likely is this witch hunter going to be following Eldara here? So I think we are going to, I would say likely. So I'm going to roll 2 d20s and I will pick the highest here. Okay, so we got 16 and then we got 14. So that is definitely a yes. Okay, so he's probably following her, but he also knows that Delmyra's silver is also very precious. So I'm also wondering if he would want to try to, I guess, kill Eldara, but also try to wait for Eldara to find Delmyra's grave. So we'll see, because then he will have a perfect chance to steal the silver from that grave. So yeah, so we'll see there. But I do want a tension die. I'll probably start with a d10. So I'm gonna put here, so a d10, a d8, and then a d6, and then we will do a d4. So every time that I get like a 1 or a 2, that's when the tension die will go down. And so when it hits a d4 on a 1 or 2, that is when the witch hunter will attack Eldara here. So we will roll a d10 first. Okay, so we got a 5, so we are okay. All right, so now, upon just looking at this area, just the front part of the graveyard, let's see what she sees here. So I'm going to use the random tables over here So we will roll and see if she notices anything odd. Okay, so we got a 91. So cost. Okay, so 91. So we got cost, and then we got a 21. And we have bleed. Uh-oh. I am assuming. Let's see. So we got bleed and cost. Oh, you know what? I'm almost thinking if this area is overgrown with like these thorns. So I'm kind of picturing like these bushes of thorns that are kind of like in the way here. Like these spiky thorns that are making it hard to get to the graveyard like trail here. So okay, so it's probably just really rough I guess terrain right now, but I am assuming that Eldara, she would want to just like grab her sword and cut through all the thorns. So yeah, because I'm thinking like bleed and cost, like these thorns are really nasty and they would like cut through like her skin and stuff. And so yeah, so let's see. I wonder now for we need to choose a DR, what is that called again? A difficulty rating. And so I would imagine that over the years, it's like really, really overgrown all the thorny bushes and stuff. So I feel like it'd actually be pretty difficult to like cut through all of those vines. So we'll see here. So I'll say probably difficult. And also, sorry, this is also kind of like only like my second or third time like playing this system, so I just want to make sure that I am understanding. Let's see. Optional Oracle DR rules. If you want to use the tier to modify the optional rules at the start of the dungeon. Okay. So let's see here. I feel like, you know what? I think we're good. I think I will stick with that 14 difficulty rating here. We will see. So yeah, okay. So hopefully she can get greater, than 14, and this would be strength, and she doesn't have any modifiers for strength, unfortunately, so. Ooh, that is sad. Okay, so she got a 3. Okay, so how I'm picturing that is at this entrance, it's really thorny, and with her sword, as she's like cutting like through it, she's having a hard time trying to clear the path here. And so I think with this fail, I'm actually picturing that she gets cut. She gets cut by all of these thorns. I'm actually thinking this. So that'll be probably like a 1d4 to her health here. So yeah, so we'll see. So these are pretty like nasty thorns here. So 2. Okay, so she gets 2 I guess points of damage here, and yeah, okay, so we'll say that. So she gets 2 points of damage, so now she is at 6. I'm also wondering if that also brings attention to anything in this area here. So I do want to roll and ask the Oracle here if likely or unlikely. So let's see. I will say it's likely that that probably caught some attention from something or for someone. Okay, so we got 13. So yep. Okay. Yeah, so 13 is a yes. So it definitely caught the attention of something or someone. I think this will just be a yes or no question here, but is do creatures that are lurking around the graveyard, do they notice her trying to make her way in? So 7. Okay, so 7 is a no, so it's not a creature. So it might be, oh, I wonder if there's like living plants or something. Yeah, I'll ask that. Maybe it's like living plants or something. Yeah. 17. Okay, so yes. Oh, so you know what? Maybe these thorns are alive. Okay. So I'm assuming that these thorns are alive. Uh-oh, that doesn't sound good here. So I'm going to write in my notes really quick. The entrance is filled with thorny bushes. And she was trying to cut her way through to clear the path, but it actually, I guess, awakened these thorny bushes and they come alive. Okay. Oh man, oh man. Okay, so these thorny bushes come alive. And let's see what else with our random tables here. Okay, so we got 99, rebirth. Yep, okay, I am definitely taking that word and interpreting it that these thorns actually come alive and they're starting to get aggressive here. So I think now for Eldara, she has to kind of think fast if there is a way that she can avoid, I guess, getting into more vines and more trouble with these vines. These thorns are now becoming aggressive and they want to attack her. So they're probably trying to like protect the graveyard here. So let's see. I do think that I would have to create a let's see, yeah, a creature that doesn't have existing stat blocks here. So I do want to see here who would be initiating combat now. So this is our very first combat. I think she has no choice but to try to attack these aggressive thorns here with her sword. She does have a sacred scroll, but I do want her to save that. And then let's see. She does have a bottle of red poison, and she has 4 doses. So I'm almost wondering if she's able to kind of pour some like red poison on these thorns here or something. So okay, yeah, I think we are going to be doing. We're going to go into combat now, and let's see. We will do initiative. Okay, so we got a 3. So that means the enemies begin. Okay, so these thorns are going to be coming in hot now. And we will do this too. We will roll on the combat modifiers here. So D12. Which is this. And let's see. So we got a 9. Okay, fights to the end. Okay. Alright, so these aggressive thorns are very persistent here. Okay, so now, since the enemies will be going first here, it looks like we need to do a defense roll here. But I do want to adjust the modifier here. So instead of it just sticking at a DR of 12, we can do a +3 or a -3 to adjust the difficulty rating here. So I'm going to do a -3. So she has to get above a 9 then. So yeah, I think that's how I'm going to do it. Let's see here. We also need to do this as well. So subtract D4 from the TR, subtracting or adding additional modifiers depending on the creature's perceived strength and weaknesses. Okay, so I guess, so I say that she's a 9, and then, or these thorns are a 9, so we'll do a 9 minus, so 7. Okay, so these guys have an HP of 6, 9, and a D6 here. So I'm just going to make a note here that these are the living thorns here. Okay, so let's see. She has to do a defense DR9, so hopefully she can get above that. And this will be agility. So she has a -1. Oh, perfect. Okay, great. So that's 14, so good. She was able to defend herself against some of those thorns, and with her sword, she is able to block some of their attacks there. So that's good. And now for her turn. So I think for her turn, she is going to throw a bottle of the red poison here. And I think she would want to do an agility test. So yeah, so I think she definitely wants to do an agility test here. And we will do a DR of 12 and see if she's able to throw it at these thorns to poison them. Okay, so that is a 7. Okay, so she wasn't able to aim at a really good spot for the red poison here. So instead of doing 9 damage, I would probably say that that'll decrease to a D4. So she's able to get some of that poison on some of the, I guess, like the branches of like the thorns, but not really aim correctly to the roots of these plants. So she's only doing D4. Okay, so we'll say that she's only able to do a 1 point of damage here. So they are at 5 here. Okay, and now for their turn, also I need to mark that this is now at 3. So she's 3 doses left. Okay, so now she is going to defend, and this would be a 9. So she has to get above a 9 now to defend. Okay, 8, 7. Okay, so that was a miss. And so now they are going to attack her. So let's see. 1. Okay, so 1 point of damage here. So she is now down to 5. Oh man. Okay. She's struggling a little bit. Okay. Alright, and then now she's going to take her sword here. And I do want her to attack. So with her sword, I want her to attack and try to get rid of some of these vines, maybe just enough to run away. So we will do a, she has to roll above a 9 in order to hit. Oh, that was a miss. Okay, so she completely missed here, and she wasn't able to get to those vines. Okay, so now these vines are going to attack her again. So she has to do a defense. Hopefully a 9 or above. Okay, 11. Great. Okay, so she was able to grab her sword again to defend herself. And then I think now she definitely wants to try and attack them once more, and then see if she can run and maybe try to like hide. Maybe like run through the vines and then hide behind one of like the tombstones or something. So yeah, so I think this is what she's gonna do. She's gonna take her sword and try to fight. Yes, okay, that is a 15. And then with her sword, she does how many points of damage here? 1. Okay, so these guys are now down to 4 health points. And I do want her to do an agility test. So with this one, I feel like this is going to be kind of hard. So I feel like she would have to do maybe a 14 here to see if she can hide quickly enough behind those tombstones. Oh, not fast enough at all. So that was a 1. Okay, so she was trying to run through and try to avoid these vines here, but they catch her, and these thorns, they kind of like grab her like leg, and they're pulling her back. And I wonder if let's see, I'm also wondering if this witch hunter is still kind of like seeing her from the distance, or if he wants to try to like help her in a way to kind of see if he can kind of use her to find the silver from Delmyra's grave. So let's ask the oracle here, and let's see how this goes. So how likely, so I am gonna say it's very half and half here, to see if this witch hunter is going to step in. Okay, so we got a 6, we got a 15, and then a 13. So yes. Okay, so it looks like this witch hunter is going to try to get rid of these aggressive vines here. Does he have a torch? Maybe he has a torch. I'll do a 2d20. Okay, so yes, that is a 12 and a 14, so yes, a definite yes. So this witch hunter grabs his torch, and he's burning these vines away, trying to save Eldara here. And Eldara is probably like shocked, and she's probably thinking like, what are you doing? Are you helping me? Are you against me? And he's definitely going to try to deceive her and say that he wants a part of the silver from Delmyra, and he said that he will try to help her here. And so yeah, but I definitely think Eldara is going to be very on guard and closed off with him. So yeah, so he's gonna grab his torch, and he's going to try to burn off all of these vines here. And let's just see, probably very likely. So I'm just gonna roll a 2d20 and just see how that goes. Okay, yep, so that is a 14, and that is a 2, so yes. So he was able to completely burn off those thorns here. And then she's saying, I don't need your help. And he's like, well, clearly you do need my help, since you got caught by those aggressive graveyard vines over there. And then she's probably saying, okay, like, we can work together to try to find Delmyra's grave. And then she's saying that if she sees any like funny business from him, and he's trying to like maybe like attack her or kidnap her or something, she's probably gonna, you know, do some like witches like spells or something on him. Or she does have her sacred scroll, where she can command a creature, so she could probably use that on him too, maybe. So okay, so that is that. So this witch hunter ends up trying to help her. But he also has this plan to trap Eldara here. So now that I think about it, I think I will actually use this to kind of see when he will try to attack Eldara here. So this witch hunter seems to be wanting to help her locate the sinner's grave and get Delmyra's silver there. So, okay. So I guess that's kind of where this scene is going here. So this witch hunter comes in and he's actually trying to help. That he will help locate the grave, and as a reward, I guess he's trying to look for the silver, but he can also get really aggressive. So on a 1 or a 2 on that d4 tension die, that is probably when he will try to attack Eldara there. Okay, so yeah, so I think that is it for scene 2 here. So, and then scene 3, we will probably get into Eldara and this witch hunter and see where they are going to be locating the graveyard of Delmyra here. So, okay, that is it for today's adventure for this one shot using the BORG system. And I'm really enjoying this system. This is a really fun, simple system, and it's like brutal, which I really love. So, all right, okay. Well, thank you, adventurers, for joining me through this one shot, A Sinner's Silver. So I can't wait to continue this adventure, and thank you so much for all the support. Till next time.